Hi class, this is going to be a quick review of decimal multiplication. And so we've got 5 and 9 tenths times 2 and 14 hundredths. The first thing we want to think about is ignore the decimals. Multiply as if there was no decimal in the problem. If I was doing that, I would want to put the 5 and 9 tenths on the bottom so that I have less to multiply. So if I set that up, I've got the 2 and 14 hundredths times 5 and 9 tenths. I'm not lining up the decimal because, again, we're ignoring the decimal and we're multiplying as if the decimals weren't even there. I'm going to do 9 times the 4, which is 36. Carry the 3. 9 times 1 plus the 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 9 times 2 is 18, plus the 1 is 19. Move to the place value over, and so we're going to put our 0 and multiply times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 5 times 2 is 10. And then we're going to add those numbers together. If we add that up, 6, 2, 16, 2, and 1. Now here's where we have to be certain to consider where the decimal should go. And there are a couple ways to think about it. One, and my preference for you to think about always with decimal problems, fractions, any type of problem, is what makes sense for the answer. What is a good estimate? If this is a little more than 2, and this is a little less than 6, 2 times 6 is 12. So we know the answer should be around 12. So there's only one spot that makes sense for the decimal to go. And that's a great way to figure out what the answer is. If it's a little bit harder to estimate, then there is another way you can figure out where the decimal goes, and that's to count the numbers after the decimal in the problem. 1, 2, 3. And there are that many numbers after the decimal in your answer. 1, 2, 3. And that does always work, and that's a great strategy for determining where to put the decimal in difficult decimal multiplication problems. So the answer here is 12 and 626 thousandths. The answer makes sense, and we used our rule also to double check. All right.